7th, 2019, Winston-Salem, Forsyth County Board of Education special call meeting. My name is Shay Woodbury, Chair of the Board. The main purpose of this very special meeting is for the board to vote on the contract and appointment of the new superintendent. First, I would like to recognize all elected officials. If you would please stand if you are an elected official here in Winston-Salem, Forsyth County. Thank you. We have Commissioner McDaniel and Judge Hartsfield. Thank you so much for coming. I would first like to thank the relentless commitment of this board to make sure the new superintendent was in place at the start of this upcoming school year because we believe students can't wait. This was not an easy task. We went through our trials and our tribulations in order to get to this point today, our celebration. I believe and hope that our board has grown stronger and more unified for the purpose of educating every student. I want to also thank the North Carolina School Board Association, especially Allison Schaefer and Jim O'Rourke. They worked hard to develop and facilitate a successful search process. During this process, we carefully reviewed applications from a diverse field of over 43 applicants from all over the country. I also want to thank district staff, all of our educators serving in our schools, families, and the community for your collaboration and thoughtful input, which has helped to determine who would be the next superintendent. To set the context for my introduction of the new superintendent, I want to make sure that our students connect to this information too, since they are the main reason why we all are here today. I was actually inspired by Dr. Carol Montague Davis, who is the principal at Carver High School, and the class of 2019 at the commencement. Of course, I'm a graduate of Carver High School, class of 1992. But at the commencement this year, Dr. Montague was very intentional about using their language and decoding it for the audience. Therefore, she was able to uplift their culture and educate most in the audience, like myself, on what these sayings meant and how to use it correctly. So, to help you get to know the experiences and qualifications of the new superintendent, I will be speaking facts. I chose a simple word to decode because I don't want to lose anybody today. But to our young people, facts are not just simple truths. These are transformative truths. Thus, the info demands your attention so you can feel where the person is coming from and you understand that it's important. So, for example, and I don't know if Mr. Jabbar and Mr. Harvey are here tonight. They are. Thank you. Mr. Jabbar and Mr. Harvey, stand up. Keep standing. So, for example, Mr. Harvey and Mr. Jabbar are cool. Some cool cats. And that's facts. All right. Know this too. Facts is at the tagline. So first you make the statement and then facts. So don't use it before the statement or you will not be using the word correctly. So let me start by sharing some of the experiences and qualifications of our new superintendent based on the community feedback through our superintendent conversations and also the surveys that were taken by staff, community, and students. The highest ranking experience that the community and staff said that they wanted in a superintendent was a teacher. Our new superintendent has 7 years as a math teacher. Not only did our new superintendent teach in the classroom, but she served as the track coach and coordinated parenting classes. I heard what I said, she. And that's facts. The other qualification that this community asked us for, that we agreed upon, was that we wanted a superintendent with proven record of success. Our next superintendent was awarded the Georgia School Superintendent's Presidential Award. She has participated in the Broad Academy of Education Leaders. She has helped to improve graduation rates, higher student achievement, effective staffing, improved communication, and increased community engagement. During her tenure as a superintendent of the Richmond County School System, community partnerships played a critical role in the ability to not only raise student achievement, but also as a source of additional resources to enhance student learning opportunities and in supporting vital funding streams for programs that narrowed the learning gap between high and low performing schools. Within the first 3 years of our new superintendent being in her current but soon to be later role, she was able to reduce turnaround schools from 21 to 8. The 8 remaining schools are identified as comprehensive schools under the Every School Succeeds Act, and they are very close to being removed from the list of schools in need of turnaround. That's facts. Another experience or qualification that this community asked for was somebody experienced in finance, budgets, and acquiring outside funding. Our current superintendent, our soon-to-be current superintendent, oversees an operating budget of $335 million and a capital budget of $180 million. She has been able to increase funding resources by $23 million through improved data reporting. She has worked to eliminate furlough days, but to also provide a 16% raise to teachers over a 4-year period and reduce class size without impacting the tax rate. She is very experienced with zero-based budgeting, which is a year-long process, very meticulous. Not a lot of people like to kind of fuss with zero budgeting. You have to really know what you're doing to go into that zero budgeting-based application. And so we're glad to have her here. Based on student achievement, projected staffing needs, and educational program adjustments, she began the process of securing input from district and school leaders through zero-based budgeting in October. Since 2005, our current incoming superintendent have presented a balanced budget to the Board of Education each school year, and have done so in a more efficient operational way. It is aligned, of course, to the funding for student achievement goals and to provide for the goals of equity. Recently, she secured major grants that exceeded over $3 million, and that's facts. We asked for an experienced principal and assistant principal. 15 years she has served prior as a principal and assistant principal, leading a school with over 2,300 students, co-authoring environmental education academic units, integrating this into the Georgia Performance Standards for Learning. She also led the community in the implementation of the new middle school model in collaboration with the North Carolina State University Department of Education. She has led a very unique instructional program and supported the integration of technology. These are facts. The community asked for the next superintendent to have experience with diverse populations. Our next superintendent has had experience in affluent communities as well as high poverty communities, wherein families were still using outdoor plumbing. She has worked with international and immigrant families of wealth and international and immigrant families in poverty. At one of the schools that she served, the population consisted of 65% Hispanic, 22% African American, 8% Asian, 3% white, and 2% multicultural, with more than 80 countries represented. During her time at the school, the team was successful in increasing the graduation rate by 30%, as well as earning annual yearly progress for 2 years in a row, which is a difficult process to accomplish with such diverse population. That's facts. Lastly, the community asks that the next superintendent has experience in educational technology. In her studies in computer science combined with a mathematics and business management degree, it has provided her the academic foundation to lead the integration of technology in the classroom over the years. She uses the International Society for Technology and Education, or as we call it, ISTE, Standards for Guidance for Technology and Education. She has actively been involved in the implementation of the use of a learning management system, as well as a one-to-one technology initiative as a principal. She introduced a cyber academy and robotics. Richmond County has become the nation's hub for all things cyber and creating a cyber pathway to develop the associated technical skills for students to compete in this emerging field that is paramount. And again, facts. In conclusion, our new superintendent, without a doubt, is the best choice for Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. Facts. On behalf of the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Board of Education, it is our honor to present to you the new superintendent, Dr. Angela Pringle. Before I step away from the podium and let Dr. Pringle share a few words to our community, I hope that she doesn't mind me sharing this, but I called Dr. Pringle a couple of days ago just so that we were on the same message for tonight. You know, very concerned, sort of nervous. This is my first time selecting a superintendent, and I will tell you that Dr. Pringle has a very business-oriented personality. So I said, well, let me call her and make sure that I'm doing what needs to be done. And so as soon as I said, hey, Dr. Pringle, she just started laughing. I started laughing. I don't even know what we were laughing about, but that laughter gave me peace and joy. And so I hope that this community not only gets to know how smart and how brilliant Dr. Pringle is, but you get to know her as I'm coming to know her, as a woman that will bring us joy and peace in this school district as we hope to make sure that all of our students are learning. So thank you, Dr. Pringle.
Thank you so much. Thank you for those kind words, and I especially want to thank every one of you, the members of the Board of Education, for this opportunity. This is a special opportunity for me. This community I've come to know over the last several years, and certainly feel great about the work that can be done and that will be done on behalf of children. And so again, I'm glad to be here. I certainly am aligned with the direction of the board, and it was a really rigorous part. I have to step back and just say it was pretty rigorous, you all. These ladies were not messing around. They were really serious about their mission and the direction, the questions that were asked, presentations. I knew that they meant business, and I understand the work to be done, and I look forward to working on behalf of children in the community relative to our efforts in equity, our inclusiveness, our desire to be certainly acknowledge inclusivity, and certainly our focus on literacy. That is an area that I certainly look forward to. Community and business partnerships are incredibly important to our school system. Schools do not live apart from the community, and we must embrace that support and encourage that engagement. So I look forward to serving as your superintendent in every way. And so I can just say to you all, it's going to be a lot of work, so let's get to work.
So now down to the business of the hour. If I can get a motion to appoint our new superintendent and approve the contract.
It's my great pleasure to make the motion to approve the contract and bring Angela Pringle to Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools.
Is there a second?
I'll make a second.
Any discussion or questions?
I will just say, welcome, Dr. Pringle. We look forward to working with you. I think as our chairwoman said earlier, this has been a unifying process for our board, and we are excited about the hard work, but the work that lies ahead. So welcome aboard. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to say that choosing Dr. Pringle was both difficult and very easy. Everyone on the board was enthusiastic about welcoming you, and welcome to Winston-Salem. We're glad you're here.
I too would like to welcome you to Winston-Salem. And it's so nice to have someone that is already familiar with our city. Having a daughter that went to graduate school, I believe, at Wake Forest University, and also knowing our roads and our streets and what you'll be going through in Winston-Salem right now. We welcome you, and it is a pleasure to be able to be on this board and to be able to work with you.
And I'm honored and thrilled to welcome you as well. And this is not only a win-win for all of the children of Forsyth County, but for our community as well. So welcome, Dr. Pringle. Thank you.
I would like to make note that before we even met her for the first time, she took the time and the effort to drive our city from point to point, school to school, and learn our community at its heart. And that's extremely important to us.
I'd like to congratulate you on getting this position and welcome you to Winston-Salem. We had an extremely competitive pool of candidates, and you rose to the top. And there's a lot to be said for that because the candidate pool was very strong.
I'll go ahead, Barb.
I would also like to say we are excited to welcome Dr. Pringle as our next superintendent for the Winston-Salem Forsyth County School System. We're so fortunate to have someone who will bring the leadership experience and the dedication and commitment to serving students. And we're looking forward to working with Dr. Pringle in moving our district forward progressively in a way that will impact students, teachers, and our community as well. So welcome.
And I'll just say, welcome, Dr. Pringle. I'm excited that you're here. You impressed me from the start with your warmth and your sense of humor. I'm tickled that you're here.
And I would just like to add that I can recall in the interview process, I asked Dr. Pringle, how was she going to work with this board? And she was very clear about the success of her board at that time and how they worked together. and had been recognized by the state of Georgia as a distinguished board. So we're on our way, and that's because we got a dynamic leader with Dr. Pringle. If there are no more questions, then all in favor? It's a unanimous vote. I honestly think we have our headline, Dr. Pringle unifies Winston-Salem Forsyth County Board of Education with a unanimous vote. Facts. Thank you all so much for coming out and sharing this experience with us. Before we adjourn, I would just like to let everybody know that we're going to have a very brief press conference. You're welcome to sort of stay here, but we'll have to keep the noise at a minimum. We will have a 5-minute recess to kind of allow people to move out of the auditorium area, and then we'll have the press conference. So again, thank you all so much for sharing this experience with us for the sake of every child in Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. So at this time, could I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Your School Channel, Cable 2.